We've got a packed show today. We're talking to former ASU running back Demario Richard. We're drafting our guys. We're projecting the depth chart for week 1, 9 days away. But I'm telling you right now, if either one of you two drafts Malik McClain in the our guys draft, I'm walking off the show.
Okay. Happy Thursday, and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, of course, presented by Branded Bills. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use code BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. I'm Anthony Totri, joined, as always, by the stupidest person alive, the one...
your heart wasn't even in it on that one.
It wasn't. I didn't know if I want to go dumbest or stupidest. I don't really remember which nickname you gave yourself.
I think dumbest is meaner.
So do you want to be dumbest or stupidest? I'm going to let you...
We've done this before. I don't think dumbest is meaner.
I think dumbest
stupidest
is
way meaner.
No.
I'm joined by an idiot.
Stupid or dumb?
I'm joined by an idiot.
You'd rather be called dumb? So stupidest is meaner. Our interns say stupidest is meaner.
Stupidest is meaner? Okay, I've got the dumbest person alive, Erik Ruby, with me.
What do I know? I'm a fucking
We got
idiot.
the deli man behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Glenn Parker. Ben, Lee Corso is sharing, popping off in the chat. Do us a solid. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button.
Totri, you did it again.
What'd I do?
You sat up again.
Did I? No, I didn't. I didn't. Here, let me, right here. Okay.
This shows...
Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button.
You've been
I'm out of
canceled
here.
today.
Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Glenn says, sup chat, SSG, butter, mustachio behind the camera. Parker, we did. We made it to single digits 9 days before Arizona State kicks off the 2025 college football season against NAU. So, of course, the big question is who has won some of these positional battles for the Sun Devils, offensively, defensively. A couple weeks ago, we did our first projected depth chart for the starters for Arizona State. But with 9 days left, we're going to go ahead and give our final predictions for who Sun Devil fans can expect to see next Saturday when the Sun Devils take on NAU. Rubus, anything before we dive straight into those projected offensive starters?
I don't know the next time I'm going to be putting this headset on, Ruby says.
There's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos. It's going to be a home run.
It's okay, man. It's okay. It was a pleasure having you while you were here.
I mean, 9 days away is tough.
Yeah.
Dude,
for this, too. For a Thursday show.
On the Our Guys draft.
Like, what were we thinking?
I mean,
is that your first slip up on this show?
No. It's not my first, but it's definitely the earliest in a show that I've messed
It's also
up.
the first in a while.
Yeah, I was good right off the bat, and then it's when I've gotten like really angry, or like we've all been going back and forth, and I kind of forget that like
the live studio audience also
the
probably
live
got you.
studio on.
Yeah,
I just
you
got
can't say
nervous,
certain
folks.
things,
I got
man.
nervous. Bright lights were too bright, couldn't handle it. That's on me. I got to be better 9 days away from kickoff.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead. Let's
Coach,
dive.
did you get a fade?
I did get a fade. Yeah, I was actually telling
Can we get a side profile?
Yeah, sure. We can go this way.
Can we get a full?
You want me to stand up again?
No,
Screw up
that's
your
good.
shot?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. Make sure you're a PHNX diehard. Maybe I'll drop the story of my barber and the situation that happened with his family pig.
You don't want to hear
at
that
the
story.
barber. It's a great story.
You don't want to hear that story.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check in on Tuesday.
Check out Diehard Discord, man. Are you going to the barber on
Yeah, on
Tuesday?
Tuesday, yeah.
Ask him about the family pig, man.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk in and be like, "How's the family pig?"
Yeah. No, you should. He will be careful the way you throw that out there. He doesn't.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Are we actually talking about a pig
No,
here?
we're not going to talk about it here. But
No, but like in this story, is the pig like actually like a pig?
the pig's no longer with us. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it was.
But
a
is
pig.
it a pig? It was
a
a pig.
pig. Yeah.
Because I didn't know if it'd be like somebody that he doesn't like in his family.
No. It's like a legitimate.
The family pig would be a terrible nickname.
Yeah.
For
like
the first pick in our guys draft.
I'm taking
my barber's family pig.
That's my guy.
Yeah, Chris.
That's my guy.
Pig. Just a straight pig. Appreciate that, Glenn. Do we want to get straight into the
I think
offensive
there's
starters?
nothing else that we should do right
Yeah.
now than that.
Let's go ahead and do that. This is what the offensive starters will probably look like next Saturday for Arizona State. Not too much changing, actually nothing changing from our first projected depth chart. You've got Josh Atkins starting at left tackle, Demario Richard starting at left guard, the Texas State transfer, Ben Coleman kicking from left guard to center. You've got Kyle Scott at right guard, at right tackle. You've got Max Ahanachor. Your Arizona State wideouts at Z, we've got Jordan Tyson, Malik McLean. At Y, we've got Jalen Moss. Your starting tight end will be Shimon Mateer. Your starting quarterback, despite the ongoing quarterback competition, of course, Sam Levitt. And then you've got Kyson Brown at running back. But a couple things we can dissect here, probably starting with the most notable, Erik, that starting center spot. I do still have Ben Coleman being the starting center for the Sun Devils.
Give me a confidence level.
The confidence level that he is
that he's going to be the starter, and then we'll talk confidence level of him as a starter.
Okay, about 7.5 that he will be the starting center for me.
Confidence level as far as center? His play goes at center?
An 8. I feel confident that he's going to be able to take care of business, especially the first couple weeks of the season. I don't think there'll be any issues against NAU. At least there shouldn't be.
So you think that's the right choice?
I didn't say that. I think if we're looking long term, I would have Wade as my starting center just because of what it gives you long term. Mm-hmm. You have your starting center next year. You're giving a young offensive lineman a lot of run early on in his career. He's a transfer. It keeps him happy. But at the end of the day, we know that this coaching staff is going to roll with the best 5. And they feel like, at least the way that it is trended over the last several weeks at practice, it is trending in the direction that Ben Coleman will be the starting center. Marcus Arroyo spoke the other day about how they want to have an answer on this and a final decision early next week. So we should know by the first couple practices who the starting center is going to be, but things change, right? We saw last year that Emmett Boley was supposed to be the starting left tackle all of spring, all of fall camp, and then you get to a week before game day, or a week before that, first game, and you have Josh Atkins as your starting left tackle.
It's a little different.
It is.
I mean, listen, not that that's not a premium position. Like, you got to protect your quarterback, but it's a little different throwing a different center in there a week before than a left tackle.
It is. And we've seen, it's not like Wade has been getting all the starting reps at center this week and then Ben runs with the 2s. It's been pretty split. Wade's getting the first team reps during team tempo, and then when it gets to 11 on 11s, then it is Ben Coleman, right? And I think, again, when we're going through installs, I say when they're going through installs and all those other
You're doing it.
situations, it does feel like Ben Coleman is working with the 1s. I don't know how much of that is just based off the fact that he is somebody that has been in this role for such a long period of time, and the experimenting with Wade Helton at center isn't something that happened, months ago. It is a pretty recent development.
Sure.
So I'm not gonna totally throw away the idea that Wade Helton couldn't start at center, but I think we've gotten to a point now where it just feels like, unless something drastic happens over the next 3 to 4 days, that Ben Coleman will be the starting center, which allows for Demario Richard to be your starting left guard, a position that he's been working at pretty much since he got here in spring. So I don't think there's a bad option. Realistically, this is something that Arizona State's coaching staff, I think, is going to have to work through, and the comfort level will continue to grow, I think, kind of similar to what we saw last year with Sam and Jordan building that connection. I think it'll probably be the same thing here.
I mean, game reps is going to be super important here. And I think that there might be a chance that, given the opportunity, and almost like, not that practice is relaxed by any means, but there's not like the same high stakes pressure. And there are some people, and I think even Sam Levitt falls in this category, where when the lights are bright, and everybody's watching, unlike me, they step up to the occasion and they deliver on what they need to do. And maybe Ben Coleman's the guy that's in practice is maybe overthinking a little bit, but as soon as he gets out there and he understands, it's like, this snap it's not life or death, but I mean, this is really important. Like, this is real now. This is going to your record. This is going to affect your college football playoff candidacy. If you're going to be a top 10 team, maybe that, in essence, kind of calms the nerves in a sense and makes him focus on, okay, I just got to deliver this, not, okay, where's my hand? How does Sam Levitt like it? Maybe he's overthinking it because it is a little bit of a new position to him. And I think back to his answer, and I brought this up a couple times to us at Big 12 Media Day, where I asked him, different ways to snap the ball. Take me through what you've worked on. And he just, I mean, you know how he talks so fast, like, but 2 minutes straight of just all this different stuff, where he puts the hand on the ball, what type of ball the quarterbacks like where they like it, all the different, you know, things that go in it. And at first I'm like, hell yeah, right? Like, I want my center to be the kind of guy who understands all of that. But it's like, you're at a buffet and it's all good options. It's like, what do I put on my plate?
Yeah.
Right? With Ben Coleman, though, I have a question for you. We're talking about week 1.
Mm-hmm.
What about week 6? What about week 10? Do you think Ben Coleman ends the season as the starting center for Arizona State?
I'm gonna say yes, based again off the fact that this is somebody that's played so much college football before. I'm not going to doubt his ability to be able to handle a new position starting at center for the first time in his college career. With that said, I know there's some folks talking about Wade Helton potentially being the starting center. Like, there is a chance that Wade goes out there and he is your starting center from day one, and that's that. I think you will probably see both of these guys at center at some point against the NAU game, especially if Ben's starting. Eventually, you imagine Arizona State will get to the twos and Wade Helton will be out there. Maybe they make a further evaluation off of that, right? Off of actual game reps. But again, just based off of what I've seen in practice and in terms of install in the 11-on-11s and the ones and the twos, it does feel and look very much like Ben Coleman is going to be that starting center. Now, given the fact that you've had so much experimentation there, like with Wade getting the starting center reps, like when we're doing team tempo, and then you have Ben Coleman at left guard, and then you go to 11s and you have Jamedo Abigbo starting at left guard and you have Ben Coleman starting at center. Like, I do think there may be a slight little bit of dysfunction early on in the year, as long as that continues, as long as you continue to have those split reps. Because then you have a situation where, like, half of practice, you've got Ben Coleman at left guard, and the other half, you've got him at center. And then half the practice, you have Jamedo starting at left guard. The other half, you have Ben starting at a different position, right? Like, regardless of it being his position last year, like, that is still something that it takes a little bit of brain power to be like, okay, this is different than what I'm, was doing the first half of practice.
It's kind of the sleeper in all of this.
Tell me.
Well, how's Jamedo going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, he's an unknown at a power 4 level consistently. Maybe Ben Coleman's holding his own at center, but maybe it's like, man, we really need you over at left guard, and Helton we think can be better at center than what Jamedo is giving us at left guard. I think I'm not worried about the NAU game at all, and I wouldn't say I'm necessarily worried about the Mississippi State game, but there's a big difference between being against NAU at home versus being against an SEC team on the road. Like you mentioned, their blackout game, their one blackout game of the year.
Yeah.
Too early for them to be so bad to the point that the fans don't care anymore. And a team that is hungry to prove something after being the worst team in the SEC last year, it's going to be loud, right? And then that's going to affect the communication and everything. And you wonder if you like what you saw from
really loud.
If you like what you saw from Wade and his reps against NAU, or you didn't like what you saw against Jamedo, and it's like, okay, now Wade Helton, we're going to give you a shot to start. But this time this is your first time playing college football. You're going to start at center on the road in a loud environment for a top 10 team in the country.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying they would do that, but I do think that it's going to get to a point where it's like, you just got to kind of stick, right? I think Ben Coleman, I'm fine sticking with it, but I just really hope that that's not something that 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in, when you get into Big 12 play on the road against a Baylor, right? Or at home against a Texas Tech, it's like, we're still having the same conversation. To me, that would be worrying if this goes past week 1 or week 2.
Yeah. And I think for me, part of this conversation, and I don't know if this is part of the thought process with the whole starting center spot here, is I think it would be a lot easier to start the year with Ben Coleman where you're at center, just based off of all the reps that he's gotten. And then, like, if that doesn't work, then moving Wade in and then kicking Ben to left guard, versus starting with Wade and then moving Ben back to center if that doesn't work. Sure. Because if you start Wade at center and then ultimately you pull him and he's running with the twos, I think you do him a disservice and you completely kill his confidence as a young player on this offensive line trying to eventually be a contributing piece for Arizona State. You don't want to kill his confidence this early into his career at ASU. And I think starting him at center and then moving him back to the twos and kicking him down the depth chart 2-3 weeks later, I think that definitely hurts. And I think it would be easier for Ben to kick over to left guard midseason or however long they run with him at center, versus the other option there with Wade. But ultimately, in terms of the rest of the starters, they look pretty much the same as they did last time. I think you're going to get a healthy rotation at wide receiver with Jordan Tyson, Malik McClain, Jalen Moss, and Jaron Hamilton. I don't know how much you're going to see of Noble Johnson that first game of the year. The same goes for Zechariah Sample. But you should see a good chunk of the other Arizona State wide receivers, of course, against NAU in terms of the tight ends. I would expect you to see the all four pretty much: Cameron Harpool, AJ Ia, Shimama Taylor, Kamari Anderson. You'll probably see all four of those guys against NAU. In terms of running backs,
you're seeing all.
You're going to see. Well, you'll probably see more than just the three. You'll see Kanye, you'll see Ralik, you'll see Kyson. I would be pretty surprised if you didn't see Jason Brown at a certain point against NAU. There's potential that you see Man and Grayson, right? Because these guys they're given 3 games that they're able to play and still redshirt this year. So I think you'll probably see every Arizona State running back that is on the roster at some point against NAU. But when we actually move forward with the season, I would fully expect it to be a healthy rotation of Kanye Udoh, Kyson Brown, and Ralik Brown. We've got Kyson listed as the starter, but as we've said kind of all summer, just because they're listed as a starter doesn't necessarily mean, specifically at this running back position, that this is going to be like the sole guy that you see running with the ones. There was a question earlier in the chat about, does Arizona State have to list their starters before like a certain amount of time because of the whole injury stuff that that Big 12 teams now have to release like injury reports. Arizona State, along with every other Big 12 team, does have to release a depth chart. With that said, Kenny Dillingham in the past has done a really fun job of putting oars instead of like starters. Instead of having like, oh, Ben Coleman is starting and then Wade Helton is running with the twos, it usually says Ben Coleman or Wade Helton
Such an
starting.
Awesome move.
So I imagine you'll see that probably with all of the running backs listed. You'll probably see that with Malik McClain and Jaron Hamilton. You probably will see it with Ben Coleman and Wade Helton. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you'll probably see that with one specific position that we will get into on the other side of our first break. Guys, I want to tell you about our friends over at Circle K. We tell you all the time about how they're trying to help you guys save money with their free membership program, Inner Circle. And if you guys haven't signed up for it at this point, I really don't know what you're doing. Take the next 30 seconds, go to the App Store, download the app, enter your email and phone number, and that's it. That's it, Erik. That's all you got to do to be an Inner Circle member. And today is the perfect day.
I filled up on gas today, and you know exactly why.
The perfect day to be an Inner Circle member because it is an Inner Circle Fuel Day where registered participants can use their phone number to receive 40 cents off per gallon at participating locations. If you haven't already, make sure to sign up for Circle K's Inner Circle Rewards. Do it now. Save on gas, save on drinks, save on snacks, save on everything that they have over at Circle K. Again, join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
I had the pleasure, and I actually do mean pleasure, of being at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass this past weekend on Saturday for the Straight Game Podcast live with none other than Shaquille. And it was awesome. It was great. Sat up close and personal. Heard stories about, his playing career, his personal life. They did a live Q&A there. And it was my first time being in like the amphitheater stadium area for Gila River. We're usually at the Upper Deck Bar and Grill doing a lot of our watch parties and live shows, which we'll get into here in a second with our PHNX Cardinals residency. But it was my first time being like in their, concert hall. It was wonderful. I mean, the setup was so pristine. It was so well done. And that's just Gila. They have great attention to detail. But you don't just have to go for the events. You could just go the state-of-the-art gaming floor, right? Go relax by the pool, upscale to approachable dining experiences. Listen, it's an unprecedented level of entertainment. There's only one rule. Well, actually, there are a lot of rules, but there's one really big rule, and that's you do you. At Gila River Resorts and Casinos, visit playatgila.com for more details. I don't want people to be like, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, Ruby said there's actually only one rule, and we got to do us. Like, we got to do our own.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Resorts.
That's pretty much what you said.
But you can come hang out with the whole PHNX crew next Thursday for the PHNX Cardinals residency at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass, where we do pretty much all of our live events at 4:30. It's a PHNX Cardinals live show at 6. It's a live season preview. It's like a town hall that Johnny and Bo are going to be doing, answering your questions, and it's not going to be live streamed anywhere. It's just going to be for the people in attendance. And then at 7, it's the PHNX Fantasy Football Draft, and we will be broadcasting that live. Had a lot of fun last year at Gila, did it big, and lots of trash talking. Really cool stuff. Go get your tickets for the event.
The floor this year.
All diehards who attend receive a free drink ticket, and call 1-800-WIN-HELA or use cards FF for 25% off a room for Thursday night. So come hang out with us, spend the night at Gila, get 25% off. Can't think of a better way to end your work week, a Thursday, going into a Friday. Join us all next week at Gila.
Sharon says, does Ben really want to be center over guard, or is he just doing what is best for the team? I would say he's probably doing what's best for the team. I think it also, in terms of like his draft stock, would probably help to showcase his ability to play center. If he plays center well, I don't think he would ever outright tell you what he wants to play. It would more so just be, I'm going to do whatever's best for the team, especially knowing Ben as somebody who is very, very articulate with his words. You got to stop telling Glenn, though, that he can throw tortillas.
I mean, I didn't say that. I said you do you. And if you're a tortilla
you said
thrower,
you can do anything.
You did say he could do anything.
And then I corrected it.
Well, just know if Glenn
Sorry,
gets in
guys,
trouble,
I'm the stupidest, dumbest idiot alive.
Well,
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
Don't take my word for it. My word means nothing.
So you're not?
So they can't
Stupidest person
throw.
alive paradox?
Whoa.
Can he throw tortillas? Yes or no?
No.
And.
Or.
Yes,
it's
or.
And or.
Stupidest, dumbest idiot alive.
I was just before we move on, I was trying to think of a joke about Kenny being like a boat guy because of all the oars he has on his depth chart, but nothing really materialized.
No.
Just want to throw
I think
that
you
out
still
there.
know that.
We
though.
still got some time, though.
You're
done thinking?
Yeah, I'm burying it. I just wanted everybody
okay.
to know that I was trying.
R.I.P.
I was going to say keep rowing, and it made me think of keep running.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't stop.
listen to this,
Keep
keep running.
going. Will says, has Ben won the job outright at this point? If so, how confident are we in a big Bo? No, he hasn't won the job outright at this point. Again, from the last practice that media was able to go to, Ben Coleman was running with the ones during 11-on-11 and during some team install. And then you had Wade Helton running with the twos during that point. Wade Helton also running with the ones during team tempo. So a completely kind of different look there. We'll see again as game day inches closer. There are some available practices that media is able to go to ahead of that game. So make sure you're a PHNX diehard. That way you get the scoop on who is going to be starting where. There is a good chance that we talk about it on the shows, but if you want to know right when we see it, of course, becoming a PHNX diehard is the quickest way to do that. But going from offense to defense, it's time to put on our rose-colored glasses and explain to the people why the future is bright for the ASU defense. Brought to you by Shady Rays. Make sure you head to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX at checkout or for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Let's take a look at these defensive starters for the Arizona State Sun Devils. Not much changing here, except your starting left end. I do have Justin Watley starting over Prince Dorba here. I do think you will see another healthy rotation. Sorry, Chris, I know you're scarred as a Diamondbacks fan, but yes, I think you'll see a healthy rotation, not just at left end, but at right end as well with Clayton Smith, probably Elijah O'Neal, but I do expect Clayton Smith to start along with Justin Watley on the other end. CJ Fight and Jacob Kangaika will be your starting defensive tackles. At corner, nothing changing that you guys need to be worried about. Keith Abney and Jabin Robinson. Free safety, I've got Miles Rouser at strong safety. You've got 100-yard landlord. At linebacker, I do have Jordan Crook and Keyshawn Elliott with Zyrus Viaseu being the first backer off the bench. And then at nickel corner, I've got Montana Warren Rubis.
And that's where we're going to have the biggest conversation here. But I think let's start with Watley. First, because Prince Dorba has been one of those guys that we've talked about coming into the season saying, well, if he could start this season healthy, then maybe he is going to be one of the keys to this defensive line improving at bringing down the quarterback and even getting more pressure than they were able to get last year. Why do you think it is now, 9 days before the season, Justin Watley might be that guy for Arizona State instead of Prince?
Because, I mean, Justin has had a really, really strong fall camp as of late, as a veteran on this team, as somebody who has played in the college football playoff even prior to his time at ASU. He is somebody that has spent a good chunk of time playing college football. And not to say that Prince hasn't. I just think when we're talking about what this defense needs, it's consistency. I think Prince gives you a really, really great pass rushing element, but we need to see that, right? This is somebody that I had high expectations for last season as maybe the best defensive player on this team. It didn't necessarily come to fruition as he was kind of dealing with injuries for the majority of the 2024 season. But I do think that Watley gets the nod to start week 1 against NAU. With that said, from what we've seen in practice, this coaching staff is not shy in terms of rotating defensive ends, defensive linemen, linebackers. A good chunk of this defense in the front 7 will be rotating in and out to keep these guys fresh. And we've heard Kenny talk before about he feels like the competitive depth on this team is the best that it's been since he's been at ASU. So you should fully expect to see Justin Watley, Prince Dorba, Elijah O'Neal, Clayton Smith rotating in at edge rusher. I think there's a chance you see Joshua Shanklin for the first game of the season, but ultimately I think that rotation will probably be just 4 when the season actually does begin. And then in terms of interior defensive linemen, CJ Fight, Jacob Kongaika,
No
Zach
surprises
Swanson,
there, yeah.
Anthony Cooper, like you'll see all these guys rotate in at defensive tackle, Michael Gardner. The list kind of goes on and on. But when it comes to like specifically the Watley conversation, again, given the fact that he's so experienced, he had a good season last year. He's improved in terms of like the production that he's giving from even spring ball to fall camp.
Yeah.
He's somebody that I think this coaching staff has a lot of confidence in going into this season.
I'm with it. And I do think that Prince Dorba has something to prove this year.
Yeah.
Because they did find success without him. And when he came back, again, at this point, 365 days ago before he was injured, which I think was actually around this time, maybe like a week or so earlier than this time last year.
I heard at Camp T, didn't he?
I think so. And it was, hey, Prince Dorba might be the best player on this defense.
Yeah.
Right? I think he has something to prove to get back to that point. And I think he can. But, I mean, like I said, this is a term that I coined. Iron sharpens iron. Right? And I think that's
nobody said that before.
Nobody's ever said that before. Yeah. We got to talk about the nickel, though.
Yeah.
Because we've been kind of talking about how Breedlove has put himself in this conversation and was getting reps with the ones, and you mentioned a position that's likely going to have the or on it in week 1. Yeah. I'm assuming you were talking about Montana Warren or Kyndrich Breedlove.
Montana Warren or Kyndrich Breedlove.
Okay.
I think based off of what I've seen the last week and a half, it does feel like it is trending more toward Montana Warren. Kyndrich Breedlove has had a phenomenal fall camp. I don't want this to get misconstrued like he has had a bad camp by any means. I think just in terms of like availability at the moment, I think you're gonna see Montana Warren early on in the year. I think if Kyndrich's ready week 1, then you'll see a rotation of that. But given Montana having been in the system for years at this point, given the fact that he has put together a really strong fall camp in his own right, I do think Montana will get that opportunity to roll with the ones against NAU. But you'll see them both.
Yeah, I think that's going to maybe be throughout the entire season the biggest competition. But I mean, listen, we have a cameo in the chat.
We've got the
special appearance.
We've got Sean Depaws in the chat. I mean, we haven't seen Sean in the chat in a minute.
I love how the entire studio, the building, everything has changed, and the chairs are the main point.
I mean, chairs rock.
What do you think of the new chairs?
Well,
Sean?
I know why he's asking, because I'm pretty sure he didn't like the old chairs.
The rolly chairs?
No, the chairs in Studio A.
I didn't like those chairs either.
Yeah, those. Yeah. These chairs are a lot better.
Jeez, Glenn.
They're comfy. I think they look better. We're just gonna gloss past that. Sean says chairs are the only thing you use.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean, man. I don't know what you mean there, buddy.
I guess like what's on screen. Like we use a microphone.
We do use a microphone. Technically, our feet are using the rug under here. Technically, right? Like, come on now. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button.
Hit the like button.
Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. In terms of some of the other guys you're going to see in the secondary, I think at safety, Boogie Wilson and Chris Johnson Jr. are probably your most likely options. There is a world where Breedlove plays nickel corner, and then you have Montana rolling with the safeties. That's also a potential option. If there are any injuries on the back end of this defense, hopefully there is not. In terms of corners, your backups will likely be Rodney Bimage and Nyland Green. So you will get a good look at some of the transfers that Arizona State had in this secondary, of course, most notably Nyland Green and Kyndrich Breedlove from Purdue. But overall, like, this is a defense that don't get too comfortable looking at any specific player out there, not named CJ Fight and Xavier Alford. Everybody else is fair game for a rotation, specifically in the front seven, maybe not as much in the secondary, but D-line, linebackers, we've seen pretty much all of them getting run in at certain points. This coaching staff appears to be very, very comfortable and confident in a lot of the players they have in this 2 deep.
You can't have the type of expectations that we have set on this defense, which is this could potentially be a top 10 unit in the country.
Yeah,
right. And this should be the best unit in the Big 12. You don't get that from just your starters. I mean, your starters are obviously a big part of it, the top-end talent. Like you mentioned, X, CJ. I think Keith has a chance that by the end of the season, we could talk about Keith Abney as one of, if not the best player on this defense with the way that he has just consistently grown over his 3 years here. Javen's maybe the most timely player. Ghost led the defense in tackles last year. Keyshawn has NFL potential, right? We did an entire show on the linebackers. You don't get to this point where you look at this entire defense and say, yeah, they're going to be one of the best units in the country, a defense worthy of a top 10 team and one that could win you a college football playoff game without having depth, right? You can have the top-end talent all you want, but if guys are cycling in and they don't hold up to that standard and they don't play like a starter can or at least close to that level, like, again, this is like the biggest example that we used last year, but Caleb McCullough checking into that Utah game and basically winning that game for them. Like, you don't get to where ASU needs to be without having at least 2 deep at most every position on defense to become an elite team in college football.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right there. Like, this is a team that we talk about the expectations, and like, we know ultimately that this defense is going to be one of the best units in the conference, one of the best units in the country. And like you said, you're going to have to be capable of throwing out guys that are maybe younger, that are transfers, that haven't necessarily been in the system a ton, to go out there and execute when they're called upon. That way you can keep some of these other guys fresh. And I think that's what you're going to see, especially in the first 3 weeks of the season. Arizona State's coaching staff is going to have, I think, a pretty long leash on the 2s and the 3s. In terms of actual playing, because as much as the staff and the team want to say, you know, we're taking it game by game, we're not looking past this week, like, you do have to understand that, you know, if we don't need to have Sam Levitt out there, Jordan Tyson out there, or Xavier Alford out there for a week 2 game because we're up 25 points in the second half, then there's no point in us keeping those guys out there. None. So this is going to be much different than it was last year. I would be pretty surprised if you saw Tyson and Levitt play in the second half of the NAU game, depending obviously on what the first half score looks like. I know the line was recently, I don't know if it was recently changed as of like a week and a half ago. It was 28.5, which still feels like it's way too low of a line. I think Arizona State wins this game probably by 40 plus, but we'll see. We'll see ultimately when we get down to 9 days from now, when Arizona State kicks off the 2025 season against NAU. Anything else on those defensive starters before we hit?
I think that's it.
Break?
Are you going to buy Sean a flight out?
You know, Sean, I would love to buy a flight out, but you see the way my bank account works, I got a checking.
Sean's got that what chaos money.
He does. He
could
probably
get a private jet out.
You know, there's never been a conversation of Sean being like, "Yo, why don't I fly you out?" You know, like, you also have a studio out there. I'm just throwing that out there, but
yeah, and you on a hockey show. That's basically the same thing as Sean on an ASU show.
I mean, let's do that hockey, right? Like, why not?
Who's your favorite hockey player of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Hockey boy.
Yeah, hockey boy.
No, I was calling you hockey boy.
Calling me hockey boy? Yeah. Favorite hockey player of all time? I mean, I don't really have a favorite hockey player of all time.
Get him on What Chaos tomorrow.
Joey Decord? I don't know. Like,
Joey Decord.
Sure.
Not a bad one, right? Come on now. Go look at the rents in Boston, he says. Well, I don't know what to tell you, Sean.
Relocation fee.
Yeah, relocation fee. Why not? hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. We're moving on from starters in the depth chart. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the chat. Drop them there, and we'll see you on the other side of this quick break. Look, of course, with 9 days left till kickoff, you guys are probably out there looking for some brand spanking new merch, or maybe you're still working from home and you need something to spruce up your virtual setup. Well, we've got you covered, or I shouldn't say we do. Rally House, the go-to spot to shop for all your favorite local Arizona team gear with tens of thousands of products to shop from. Literally, if you go to rallyhouse.com and you go to the search bar and you type in Arizona State, you have over 100 different pages of Arizona State merch, of collectibles, of like coffee mugs, of flags, of koozies. They have so much to choose from, and it doesn't just stop with Arizona State. Of course, Arizona Cardinals, Arizona Diamondbacks, they have something for everybody. Make sure you find your local Rally House location and shop their entire product assortment online at rallyhouse.com today.
You're going to need a card to buy whatever you need to buy from Rally House. And why not get one that loves ASU just as much as you do? Mountain America Credit Union is a proud sponsor of Arizona State University, and you can take your finances to new heights like this football program with guidance from Mountain America, like the football team got guidance from Kenny Dillingham. It's often said that Mountain America is like the Kenny Dillingham of credit unions. Listen, obviously, you can visit Mountain America Stadium. We'll be there for every single home game. Come say hi if you do see us there. But Mountain America also puts their money where their mouth is when it comes to supporting ASU and the community. They're going to donate $250 to support university athletics for every field goal made. Definitely a better deal for ASU this year than last year. They're going to provide $20,000 in scholarships to local student athletes every year, and they will sponsor a shoe donation program to award brand new shoes to community members in need. Mountain America is dedicated to guiding members and communities forward. Learn more at macu.com/ASU, insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions and exclusions, well, they do apply. Loans are on approved credit. Shout out MACU.
Will says, why did you have Crook over Zyrus? Did Jordan pop off this offseason? Yeah, Jordan Crook has popped off this entire fall and really in the spring. And in all honesty, he's working with the ones more than Zyrus is. It is going to be Jordan and Keyshawn, or at least that has been the look the last few weeks. Since fall camp really got going, it does appear Jordan Crook and Keyshawn Elliott will be your starting linebackers for Arizona State in this 4-2-5 defense. But it is time.
We've completely buried the lead. We have not even told everybody.
Well, which time? Or about which thing?
Well, about the thing.
Well, there's a lot of things. Not a lot of things. There's still technically two things.
I know. There's still technically two things.
Which thing do you want to tell them about?
I mean, at the end of the show, we're going to be playing part of our interview with
that's
Demario
fair.
Richard.
Yeah. At the end of today's show, you'll get about 10 minutes of our conversation with Demario Richard.
I have a proposal.
Do you have a proposal?
What if we tease that and save it for tomorrow?
The entirety of it?
Do we have any time tomorrow?
I don't know. We're doing a big show tomorrow.
Tomorrow's going to be pretty juicy.
And Toasty's got to get to his professor job afterwards.
Yeah.
So we won't have a lot of extra time
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think
right.
I think the chat's been good today. I think they deserve it.
We can also see how the Our Guys draft goes.
I think it's going to go long is why I said that.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
But we need to decide how we're going to determine what caliber of player we can draft in the Our Guys draft.
Okay, so quick, if you're just joining us, Demario Richard interview in about 10-15 minutes. Stick around for that. A lot of very interesting things. Not
10
the full
15 minutes.
It'll be about 10 to 15 minutes.
Do you think this draft is going to take 10 to 15 minutes?
100%. And we don't have any more breaks. So, yeah, we should be good.
We'll be fine.
The full interview will be posted either tomorrow or later on this weekend. So definitely don't miss that. That'll be up on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. A lot of great stuff from Demario, an experienced Arizona State running back, commenting kind of on the season ahead for Kenny Dillingham and the Sun Devils. Some interesting stories in there as well. But before we get to that, something that we've done the last several years ahead of the college football season is we're going to draft our guys ahead of the 2025 season. Our guys are our guys. The guys we believe in are going to have a phenomenal year for the Sun Devils. guys that when they make plays, when they go above and beyond, we can claim them as ours. We saw this coming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that we've done for the last several years.
So I think that there should be 5 to 7 players that are untouchable.
I think Sam Levitt, Jordan Tyson, X, CJ Fight. Those are the 4 for sure.
Keith Abney. I think Keith Abney is.
You think Keith's also an untouchable player?
I think so.
Okay.
So I don't know. Do you not think so?
I think if we're talking about...
I think it might just be those 4.
I think it might just be those 4.
You're
going to draft Keith Abney at 1-1.
I don't know who I'm going to draft 1-1. There's still there's another guy in there that is also worthy of that 1-1 pick.
There's one guy you're not allowed to pick. I could leave him for my last pick and none of you are allowed to take him. I think if those 4, I'm fine if those are the 4 the 2
that you
best
guys
players
want to
on each side of the ball.
If you guys want to leave as untouchable, those 4 players, sure. The best 2 on offense, the best 2 on defense, that we could do that.
Okay.
I do have the first overall pick.
Yeah, you do.
Shout out artificial intelligence on that one. Erik Ruby.
Another reason for me to hate AI.
Has the second pick. Shane has third. This is the snake draft format, so Shane will go back to back here. But without further ado, I'm on the clock for the 2025 Our Guys snake draft. Huh?
You're sitting on the clock?
I'm sitting on the clock, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just
don't look at me like that.
That's crazy.
That
is crazy that you said it like that, man.
What? You said I'm on the clock.
And you responded with you're sitting on
where it was.
With the first pick here, I am going to select Clayton Smith.
Oh,
give me Clayton Smith as my guy here. The reptilian himself. The baddest dude coming off the edge for the Arizona State defense. I think he's going to have a monster year this year. And I think if we're talking boosting draft stock, I think Clayton Smith is going to be a real player to do that this year.
I'm so torn. Obviously, I have my guy.
Yeah, there's a guy that you've said has been your guy forever, man.
But I do think that it's like... Because here's the thing, we're gonna look back on this and be like, who made the biggest impact at Arizona State? And my guy is not a guaranteed starter at this point. And I think even if he does start, he's gonna be in a really healthy rotation. There are a couple other players on this team that will have a bigger impact.
So just say he's not your guy then.
Yeah.
No,
he's not getting back to you, I don't think.
Oh, that's so dirty.
All I've heard all summer.
I have to take him. Then I have to take him. Give me my. You know what? I would have taken him 1-1.
Your guy,
Malik McClain.
I wasn't gonna take him.
I know you
guy,
were,
man.
But I still need to get. I need it.
I respect that you took your guy.
I am the biggest Malik McClain supporter. I'm a bigger Malik McClain supporter than his family. I'm a bigger Malik McClain supporter than Malik McClain.
Yeah.
If you didn't draft him, the Malik McClain guy. It would be rude if I didn't take him.
If you didn't draft him, then he wouldn't have been your guy.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'm taking Jaron Hamilton.
It's fair.
He's taking Turbo.
Our guys are going to be competing.
Your guys are going to be competing.
I've been talking about Jaron Hamilton since he transferred here with his skill set. Like it's something that ASU just hasn't had. I think Jalen Moss is going to be the other guy when it comes to him and Tyson, but like putting your stock into a guy like him is never a bad idea.
No, absolutely not.
A guy who went to Alabama, transferred here as a freshman. There's so much room to grow. Like this isn't a short play. This is a long play.
Yeah, and I like the pick.
Yeah,
I like the pick here.
And then I'm going Keith Abney.
Yeah.
Keith Abney was my guy when he was a freshman here.
Yeah.
I was gonna draft. If it wasn't Malik, I was gonna take Keith.
There was no way Keith was always going to be the next.
I knew it was real when Keith Abney started getting TikTok edits last year. I was like, oh my God, ASU football is good.
They've got a guy, man. They've got a guy.
I do remember. I've never seen that TikTok edit.
Keith's a dog, Abney Island, man.
All right. Oh man, there are a lot of different ways that we can go here. I mean, can I just take the entire team? The entire team. Those are my guys. If I could draft a coach, it would be Sean Iguano. That's my guy.
Nothing's stopping you from drafting a coach.
I'm gonna stick players. Give me. I'm debating between 2 defensive players right now. I think one will have better stats. I think the other will have bigger moments.
Okay.
Give me Javen.
Javen Robinson. I taking the other. You're just you and Shane are just mirroring each other here.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we're competing. I think I'm gonna take Javen because
I think with an E.
I think that he will be the guy that has some of the like he was last year, where he had some of the biggest moments. Like he's in the right place at the right time. There was another guy that I think is probably going to lead the team in tackles that I was thinking about getting.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked if you take him.
There's I don't even know if I'll have an offensive player, to be honest with you.
You're just going to draft the whole defense?
I might draft the entire defense. I'm going to go ahead and take Jordan Crook here. Somebody that I think is a sneaky pick to be the best player on this defense when the year's over. He has looked that good. He's looked like a real leader on this defense, and like his development's been crazy since getting on campus from Arkansas. On this next pick here, I could go a number of different ways, but I've got to take a guy that everybody has said ultimately is going to have a big year, and that's Raleek Brown. Raleek Brown.
I don't think I'm going to have an offensive player on my team. With my next pick, I'm going to take Raleek Brown.
It was between Raleek or one other guy that's probably going next year. Raleek is he's a special talent, and I'm really hoping he's healthy enough for him to play the entire year. That way the fan base can actually see what he's capable of doing.
Could be Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gonna be. It was between him and Javen. I'm thrilled that he fell here. He's gonna kill somebody on NAU. Like he's going to.
You talk a lot about murder on this show.
He's gonna put somebody on a stretcher. I'm not saying I support it, but like against they're gonna have to stop the NAU game.
It sounds like you support
it
because Ghost Rouser did something nasty.
Yeah, well,
legal. But just nasty.
Put that on a T-shirt. Legal but nasty.
Legal but nasty. Well,
I don't know if I like
let's
that.
not put that on a T-shirt.
I don't know if I like that at all, actually.
Well, you're the one that said it.
Yeah.
You've been real out of pocket lately. You need to watch yourself, man. Sorry.
He's been legal but nasty.
Yeah, he's been legal but nasty. Well, he started off illegal at the top of the show.
Yeah. Which, by the way, nobody noticed until we made a thing out of it.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point of
I noticed.
What I'm here for. I'm going to take a guy who well, first I'm going to take Justin Watley first.
I mean, you have two picks.
Good pick.
Justin Watley, not only has he been a constant on this team, but he's also been a leader, and now he seems to have elevated his game even more in the past couple of months.
Yeah.
And if he is starting like you're projecting, that speaks volumes of how much he's made an effort to get to that point with his talent. So I'm excited to see him this year, and it's such a veteran voice too. That should be fun. So I'm between the two running backs, I think. I don't know which one I want because
they're both good picks.
Yeah, I think, you know what? I don't overthink it. I think we're all just overthinking the fact that this is a dude who dominated in a run-heavy offense last year.
Yeah.
And, people were so excited. When Kanye Udoh transferred here, people didn't forget, because you don't just forget, but their worries faded away a little bit of Cam Scatterby not being here.
Yeah.
And for good reason. I mean, I think we've just kind of been overthinking it a little bit.
I think it's just because the other running
you
backs
have so many options. Yeah, and understandably so. But
if you didn't have Kyson Brown returning, I think there would be a lot more conversation about Kanye Udoh. And I think rightfully so. I think there's a chance that he cements himself as running back one by the end of the year. I think there's a chance that any of them do. But he's going to be really, really good, and he can handle his hot wings. I gotta take Sip then. I was going to take whichever running back you didn't take. You got to take Kyson Brown. RB1 on this team, big shoes to fill, good season last year. There's a chance that he can elevate the ceiling of this offense next to Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson. It's going to be exciting.
Totri's RB1 on this team right now.
Yeah.
You cannot say he's RB1 on this team.
There's no RB1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't say anybody's RB1.
No, that's fair. But I mean, RB1 on this team is different than RB1 on most teams.
Anthony Totri RB1. AT RB1.
I could be RB1. Could give you one good carry.
-5 yards.
I mean, geez, I could get you back to the line of scrimmage. I'm not losing yards. Come on. My last 2 picks here. Who are my guys? This is tough, man. God. I think this is where I'm going to go ahead and take my offensive weapon. Give me Shimon Mateer.
Wow. Right after your other offensive weapon,
second
Malik
team
Brown.
all-conference guy. I think he's somebody that is still not getting enough love just based off of the wide receiver conversations and the Sam and Jordan. Like, Shimon was a second team all-conference guy last year. And I think he deserves to be recognized as one of the best offensive players on this team. And to round out my list of 5 here, I'm going to go ahead and take the Fresno State transfer. I'm going to take Jalen Moss. Jalen Moss is, I mean, he's been my guy since he's transferred here. Just like that, you have more
offensive players.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to draft a single offensive player. 3 offensive players.
He was my guy when he transferred here, and I got to stick with him on this one. He's a dirty wide receiver, man.
Legal but nasty. Okay. I am going to take the player on this list that will play the least out of anybody that we've named here. But this has been my guy.
You don't sound very confident in them.
This is going to be my guy from the moment that he committed to this school. And I watched his high school tape, and I said, oh my God.
Taking AJ.
This guy is good. Give me AJ. That's my guy. That is my investment piece. I'm just
your investment piece.
I was between AJ.
You're trading AJ for Park Place a little bit later, like week 6.
I was gonna go either AJ or Kingaika.
Okay, I'm gonna go with my other guy who was here as a freshman with Keith Abney.
Montana.
But I did consider drafting Jesus Gomez.
Ooh, that would have been a good pick.
But after what I said yesterday,
you can't switch up like that, Chad did. Chad switched up quick on
Chad
Jesus.
Did switch up.
Yeah, that was
quick.
crazy.
Chat's like, how could you pick anybody over Jesus Gomez? Next round, who the hell is Jesus Gomez?
But with Montana, it's like, this is somebody who was put into one of the most ridiculous situations ever in the Peach Bowl last year after Shamari's suspension, and gave up a big play, but for the most part he held his own. He's a guy whose ceiling has just been expanding ever since he stepped foot here. The growth he had in his first year to now is crazy, and I think if he does get that nickel spot, whether it's at the start of the year or halfway through the year, I mean, he can completely alter your defense.
I agree. Rounding out the list of our guys for the 2025 season, this is what everybody's squad looks like. I've got Clayton Smith, Jordan Crook, Raleek Brown, Shimon Mateer, and Jalen Moss. Rubus, who do you got?
Malik McClain, my guy. Javen Robinson, Miles Rouser, Kyson Brown, and AJ Ia.
I've got the defensive heavy team. I've got 3 defensive players.
You do have 3 defensive guys.
Jaron Hamilton, Keith Abney, Justin Watley, Kanye Ito, and Montana Warren.
Great squads all the way around.
Underrated name on this team, Montana Warren.
I mean, it's a great
Such
name.
a great name.
It is a
for a defensive player too. That's either a quarterback or a safety. Listen, I really wanted to draft Jacob Kingaika.
I'm surprised Totri didn't draft Kamari Anderson.
Yeah,
you are a big
Kamari Anderson.
I was thinking about it.
That's been one of your guys.
He has been. But I got to roll with the guy that's going to be out there from the jump, and that's going to be Shimon. Kamari's going to get a lot of playing time, I feel like, and but ultimately, I mean, so I think all these tight ends are going to be pretty nasty here, legal but nasty in 2020.
We got to stop.
We got to stop doing that. Like the moment you guys have all been waiting for, our conversation with Demario Richard, former Arizona State running back. Give you guys about 10 minutes and maybe some change on that one, but the full Demario Richard interview will be up on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel in the coming days, so be on the lookout for that. But without further ado, we chatted it up and chopped it up with number 4. We've got the original number 4 joining us today, the one, the only Arizona State running back, Demario Richard. Demario, I'm curious from your perspective, man. You're the OG number 4. What'd you think of 4's season last year?
Yeah, that's my guy. He did what he's supposed to do in that number. It's big things that come offensively when you wear that number, especially out the backfield. So, yeah, he represented it well.
Absolutely, man. Look, I think when you're going to the start of college football, obviously right around the corner, I mean, right? High expectations for this year's Arizona State squad. You're somebody that was kind of in a similar position at your time at Arizona State, coming off a really good season with some high expectations the following year. As a former player at ASU, just how did you balance kind of those expectations?
We really didn't pay attention to what the media had to say. We kept everything really in-house, especially coming after my freshman year, 10-win season. They was just coming off an unfortunate loss to Stanford in the Pac-12 championship the year before. So, everybody's going to have their expectations of what, the team should be, but none of that stuff really matters. It doesn't matter, especially when you got a guy, like Kenny that's running the program, the lifer situation. So, they don't really keep, you don't really keep track of, you do, of certain things that certain people say, but you don't really pay attention to what the outside noise is for sure. You just, whatever their expectations are, it is what it is. But by the time you, leave Camp T, whatever your expectations are as a team, when you leave there, that's your expectations. So the outside noise don't really matter.
You mentioned Kenny. Do you have any funny interactions or stories with Kenny? Obviously, you guys' path didn't cross when you were on the team, but it feels like the man embodies ASU to the max. So has he reached out, talked to you at all?
Kenny was actually our quarterback's. He was a grad assistant slash, assistant quarterback coach. So he was with me, I want to say 2.5 years. I think he left in the spring. He went to Memphis, I think. But no, I got plenty story. I just tell the story. So um I told this on a pod before. Kenny was like one of the guys to where, like, when he really tells you, like, hey, they'll be locked in the office. Look, I remember this. My freshman year going into my sophomore year, it was the springtime. They used to have lock-ins. Like, the coaches used to have lock-in. They used to be there for probably like 15 hours, bro. Literally 15, 16 hours. Didn't leave the stadium. This is when DoorDash and Uber Eats was first coming out. Like, I remember Kenny used to be up there sick, bro. Like, running to go get coffee, running to go get food, not being able to go work out, going to just walk a mountain, trying to get his exercise in. And then he had a hard note who he was working for at the time. Obviously, he was with Norvell, but man, Coach Long used to put Kenny through the ringer sometime, bro. And I used to feel bad, bro. Like, through the ringer. Like, it had been times where we didn't been study hall, practice, lift, home, and Kenny and them hasn't even left the stadium. Like, they sleep at the stadium watching film and breaking down film cut up. So, like, all the stuff he's telling you, like, it's real, bro. I seen him come from the ground up, like from TG cussing him out from the ground up, from Mike Norvell cussing him out from the ground up to now, like, everything he's getting, bro, he deserves his flowers because he was put through the ringer. And it's only certain people that had real close relationships with him. Obviously, the kids in the quarterback room, certain guys and like receivers like the Jalen Strongs, and obviously me, Kalen, and DJ, and then you got Jamil Douglas. Like, we got personal relationships with him. So, like, when we talk, it's like I'm talking to, like, my brother that's been through the ringer with us, sleeping in the cabins at Camp T with the players while the coaches got big RVs. And man, like, bro, I seen him go through the ringer, bro. It was crazy. But like I said, when I do talk to him, it's always all love. He appreciates me. We're always repping the program. Stepping on those rats down there in Mexico. So stay away from them. I know y'all seen me trolling with them on Twitter the other day, man. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh, man. I love it. I think that's one thing that with you, and there are obviously a handful of other Arizona State Sun Devils that are on social like that are always defending ASU, and they're making sure that they're putting down U of A. Like, what were some of those matchups like for you, not just on the field on Saturdays, but leading up to those games? Because that's something that Kenny's tried to really reinforce since getting to ASU, is that hatred for the school down south.
You guys can hear me, right? Okay, you got me. So, I'm from California, bro. Like, when I first got there, I didn't think the rivalry was the way it was. I didn't have no clue. Like, I was a California kid. I'm 17 years old at the time. All I'm thinking about is USC, UCLA, obviously, like stuff like that. So I'm sitting there. I remember the first meeting. It wasn't even the first meeting. The week of the game, I was leaving Manzanita Hall. This is the old locker room. We flew in probably, I don't know who we played the week before, but it was like, I believe it was a late game. So we flew in late. So we end up coming home Sunday morning. We have team run and lift. Bro, when I tell you, as soon as I walked downstairs, they had this big banner, just hate, and the clock running at the bottom. I'm sitting there thinking, like, it can't be that serious. Like, all right, I get it, but like, nah, it can't be that serious. Go to the meeting room, team meeting. Before I even walk in there, DJ Foster telling me, like, bro, you better fix your attitude, like your posture, because this week is different than any other week, bro. Like, we can go 0 and whatever, but we better win this game. I'm still thinking, like, bro, like, whatever, bro. Like, it's not that serious, bro. It's just a game. Like, man, we went down to Tucson, man. Coach Graham telling us, like, look, this is what y'all got to do to take care of business. We going to play Oregon in the Pac-12 championship. This is what we got to do. Man, we walked in that locker room, bro. The locker room was like a jail cell. Soon as we came out the locker room, bro, the whole stadium was red, bro. I'm talking about the whole stadium red. I'm like, what? DJ, like, they had a sign talking about DJ Foster. They have Sparky on the news, like on some. I'm like, all right, bro. Like now, like my skin is kind of like boiling thinking about it right now. So I'm kind of like, all right, nah, bro. Like this is real. Like all right, it's real. Like the hate, bro. It's in. And like I said, I was a California kid. I didn't believe in it, but after that game, oh yeah, it was over. It was over from there on out. And they real disrespectful, bro. Like, and they followers. Like I don't like that. Man, my kids. I tell my kids all the time, like. Don't ever. You can go anywhere in the country but there. My son right now, 2 years old, anywhere in the country but there. And then my cameraman. So I got a you guys see my Instagram or whatever, but my gym. My cameraman went to U of A and he ran track. And it was like one day he came in, got his camera stuff on. He like, I'm gonna lift today. He goes to change the shirt and he put on that A. Boy, I almost ripped the shirt and threw it to the top of the top of the building. Like, I'll fire you. You wear that shirt around me, bro. Don't wear that. You can wear anything but that.
Man, he hates U of A. You're definitely going to want to check out the rest of that interview with Demario Richard, again, up on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel, either later on today, tomorrow, or starting on Saturday. But that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devils show. Hit that like button and the subscribe button on your way out. If you are listening on audio, make sure you drop a 5-star review. If you enjoyed today's content, give the show a follow on social at PHNX_Sun Devils. You can follow me and Anthony_Totri. You can follow the dumbest person alive here, Erik Ruby, at Erik Ruby. That's Erik with a K. You can follow the Deli Man at Shane Dief.
Just standing on business with my guys as always.
And we'll see you guys on Friday at noon. Different show time tomorrow. The show is at noon. Same place, different time. But as always, go Devils. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.